everybody, it's Holly Hobbyist. I'm back with another soap making video today. We're going to be doing a scenery soap today. In this bucket I have my oils and kale and clay. So to get started, we want to make sure we have our gloves, our safety equipment, and some goggles. Alright, for this soap we're going to be doing a darker colored theme. This is Dark Navy by Nurture. This is Snake Island by Mad Micah's Wicked and Glow in the Dark Blue. And then the fragrance is Forest Green by Brambleberry. So we're mixing up our kale and clay and the oils. And after we add our lye water, we're going to bring this to a pretty nice trace. I need it thicker so I can mold and sculpt the soap. So I'm going to do more stick blending than I normally do. This is still at a relatively thin trace because I need to blend my colors and they're dark. So darker colors, they seem to me like they take more time to blend because I tend to do a lot of adding as I go. And in terms of measuring out my soap, I'm really just eyeballing it. You really kind of learn the art of eyeballing when you do soap. Some people do measuring. I don't know. I haven't done that yet. I haven't really tried. So in goes our fragrance oil. This smell, I'm not a pine smell person, and I love this fragrance. It smells so good. It's really complex. It does have some pine notes in it, and I'm not a pine person, like I said, but it smells so good. It was my favorite fragrance in the Brambleberry collection that she did, the Pacific Northwest, I think it was what it was called. So I'm really excited to finally get to use it. In this bucket I have the Wicked by Mad Micah's. It's a dark black color. It's hard to get black in a soap. Typically you're gonna have to add either an oxide or I'm gonna add some activated charcoal powder to make it really black. Get that in focus. So, and then I can always add, but I can't take away, so I kind of just add a little bit as I need it because I don't want to overdo it. And then you'll see the colors will get darker. So this is going to be our pathway in our soap. Just to give you a little insight of where my thoughts are going with this particular soap, I want to do like a midnight trail, like the forest at midnight, the look and the colors. And I think it's so pretty, like the dark colors that you get that are kind of muted but are still there. So it's kind of what we're going for. So we kind of have a really dark color palette going on in this soap. Alright, so just a little more activated charcoal, and it poofs, so you gotta be careful. You gotta go work real soft with it. I don't know what word you would use, but not heavy-handed, I guess, or it ends up everywhere. It's very, very fine powder. I'm just doing a lot of stick blending because, like I said, we can get real thick with this. We want a nice thick trace on this soap so we can mold it and shape it. Just scraping off my blender head. And you know, it's kind of like a pain in the butt because the colors are kind of really thanks, Alex. Anyway. But anyway, the colors are really dark and they go kind of from darker to lighter. So it's really, usually when you're blending your colors, you go from lightest to darkest. So I put a little bit of water in my stick blender head holder that I acquired from the Dollar Tree for $1 whole. And it's like I don't even know. I think you mix salad dressing in it maybe because it has a pour spout on it. But it also is like a weird measuring cup. I think it's meant for salad dressing. Anyway, pro tip, it's a great tool for soap making. Okay, so I'm just spooning our pathway into the mold.
It's not a spoon.
Well, whatever. Scooping then. You don't have to use a spoon to spoon it. Should make that a poll question. Do you have to use a spoon to spoon? That sounds like a silly question, doesn't it? But you can spoon with things that aren't a spoon.
Like when you fork spaghetti, you use a spaghetti fork. Like,
I don't know. I'm trying to think of other things that are like that. You use a term as almost like
like the tool
an
that
adjective, yeah, but it doesn't have to be that specific tool.
you chisel something with a chisel.
No, you're missing the point.
What am I missing? What's my point?
The point is, no, like to use the adjective without using the tool, you're doing the exact opposite. All right, so let's just shake it around here and get it all down in there nice and even. All right, so we're gonna let this sit for a little bit. I don't think it's quite ready. No, it's not ready. Okay, so we'll let it sit up for a little bit. All right, I think we're ready now. Yeah, it's nice and thick. So when you're doing sculpting of soap, because I'll be honest, this is like my first time I've done something like this. So I was kind of learning as I went. It's not hard. I think it's just knowing what the right consistency is and being able to envision and make a 3D shape that's gonna look like, and envision how it's gonna look in a 2D type scene. Does that make sense?
No, it does.
Oh god, what happened? Oh my god, earthquake! Just kidding. I don't know what's going on.
That slipped past the radar. It wasn't written down, and I didn't really scroll.
Alright, so now that you can maybe see better about how thick this soap is, it's holding a really nice shape. I'm just kind of mounding it up, and I'm probably messing around with it more than I need to. Again, because I'm learning. And so what I'm trying to do with this layer is build up the path. Alright, on to the next layer. Just kidding. Alright, so with this we're doing some green. It's the Snake Island green by Mad Micas. It is a really pretty dark, like evergreen type color. But as you can see by the color in the bowl, it is not yet dark enough. So
The color in the bowl or the color in the cup?
cup, whatever. It's all bowl.
No,
It's just
a
a
bowl over there, and there's a cup in the middle.
It's my current bowl. It's just a small one.
It's literally a measuring cup.
Okay, shut up. Anyway. So it's a nice dark green, but it's still almost too bright. So I'm going to add some of this Wicked Black. And just to darken it down so it's not so bright, which sounds weird to say because it is a dark green, but you'll see what I mean here in a minute. Once I get this all blended together. You almost have to be well versed in the color wheel to make soap sometimes, I swear. Okay, see how this is it's darker. It's just darker. It's the same shade, just darker, which is more of what I was looking for to kind of go with our color palette. And I'll scrape it off my little spatula thing
Don't
there.
think it's the same color, just a different shade.
What did I say?
You said it's the same shade, but a different, or you said it was the same. I don't know anymore. I'll check.
Okay, well, if I said it wrong, it's the same color, just a darker shade. Thanks. I think.
I'm pretty sure you said it wrong. You didn't say that the first time. So.
They know what I meant.
Yeah.
So again, thick trace, totally okay. If you're one of those that overblends, this is not a bad thing for you. I tend to leave my soap real thin, so making myself go past, you know, a dark. I'm trying to clean it up, and I think I just made it worse. I won't lie. Either that or I just couldn't see that side. I'm not sure. See how thick that is? Boop, boop. I'm trying. I probably should have used a popsicle stick. They're flat and they good scraping tools. Another good tool for a soap maker to have. You can get them pretty cheap at the craft store or save your kids old popsicle sticks, I guess, if you don't. Especially if you're just making it for yourself and your family. See, even though this is a pretty thick trace, it's still pretty runny, so it's not really shapeable yet. So, again, we're going to have to let this layer set up some. This is going to be our trees. I probably should have mentioned that. Our pine forest this is our pine forest layer. I'm really bad at explaining things, aren't I?
Yeah, but
Okay, so we're gonna let this set up some. Maybe give it a little jiggle. Just to kind of make sure all the little cracks and crevices have soap in them. I'm just kidding, apparently I'm just scraping the crap out of my bowl. Because I don't like to waste any soap at all.
except for the scrap bit.
Okay, so this is going to be our sky. This is the navy blue mica from Crud. Nurture soap. I had to think for a minute. I'll tell you, I love the micas from either one of those places. They are great colorants. They are really strongly pigmented. They just do pretty well in soap. I've really not had any issues with them changing funky colors or anything. The only one, this is, let's see, Snowflake Sparkle Mica by Bramble. This is just to add a little bit of that wispy kind of undertone of a cloud you see sometime in a sky that's lit up by a moon. You'll see what I mean here in a minute. Again, I'm eyeballing and gauging exactly what I need. I just need this tiny little bit for the white because I'm gonna swirl it into the navy, so I just want a tiny little bit of soap. Or, yeah, white. It's all gonna be soap.
I was gonna say.
So I'm putting the Snowflake Sparkle Mica in here because I don't know, I want to give it a little bit of a sparkle too, not just white. Sometimes just white's boring. Depends on what you're going for. I'm also gonna add a little bit of titanium dioxide just to brighten it up a little bit. Eventually I'll get there. There we go. I think I might have used a little bit too much. But it's okay. It worked out just fine. And normally I would stick blend my titanium dioxide in, but because it's such a small amount in the bowl, I kind of can't. There's not room to do that. It'll spray soap out at me everywhere. And right now this is caustic pudding. So we don't want to do that. So I'm just going to blend it by hand and hope I get it all mixed together thoroughly. I think I'm doing a good job though, because I don't see any streaks anywhere.
Was soap making this dangerous in the olden days?
Yes. Probably more so. I don't think they had the kind of PPE that we use today. So, okay. So here goes our navy color. Get you a nice money shot there. I think it's so fun watching the colors as they get blended. It's more fun when you're just doing it in the oil, but we couldn't really do that with this soap because it's multiple colors.
also, what does PPE stand for anybody who doesn't work in medical or restaurant?
Protective.
I know what it means. I just,
Oh.
I'm giving
Personal protective equipment. So
you.
you don't end up with live burns. Okay. So our tree layer is all set up, and I'm fast forwarding this because it takes a while.
Nah, you played with it too much.
No, I mean, sometimes you just gotta, okay? It takes a little while to kind of build it up on itself and get a shape. Initially, when I was moving all this soap around, it was kind of flat on the top. And I want trees, so flat on the top doesn't exactly work for trees. And I made 4 rows, 2 on the sides and 2 in the middle, which after making the whole soap, I kind of wish I would have stuck all the trees to one side, but you'll see why here in just a wee bit. But as you can see, a lot of it is just taking the time to just keep playing with it. You're not going to hurt anything. It's not going to hurt the soap. And the hope is that eventually you'll get the shape you're looking for. I don't know if you can see on the top, it's narrowing out. So it has more of a peak look to it, which is what we're going for when we want trees. I don't know, do you see many flat top trees floating around?
Not that are evergreen.
Alright, so mixing up our sky. Now this doesn't necessarily have to be super... Ooh, almost spilled the soap! That would have been a travesty. No. It would have landed right in your lap. Because you're on the other side of the camera. Anyway. So this layer we don't need to be super thick because it's just the sky, so it's going to fill in the cracks. I have to say I was pleasantly surprised how long my batter stayed relatively fluid even with fragrance oil in it. There was nothing that really seemed to accelerate the batter like the fragrance oil can do sometimes, but this one didn't do that. As you can see, that's my white and it's still pretty runny. So now I want this to really kind of be wispy and blendy, so I did turn that around. I didn't want big globs, I just wanted little wisps and stuff. I don't know how to explain what I'm trying to say. I just know what I want in my head, and that's what happens, and I just do it, and most of the time it works. That's something else. You just gotta experiment sometimes, and sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't. Alright, so preemptively I made a soap cane in a crescent moon shape for our nighttime moon night path. And this is what I used the glow in the dark for. So it looks very white, but it's actually glow in the dark. And it's a blue glow in the dark, which I just love. And I think will work good with our color palette. Just chopping off that funky end to make it nice and even. Okay, so here we go with the sky. I'm gonna pour just a little bit of the blue. I almost said black. Till we can put the embed to kind of have something to set on. Just kind of, you want to make sure that you're, because of the crescent shape, you want to make sure you're getting soap in the underside as well. I'm pouring the rest on. Now I did get a little too much in the mold. If you can't tell, it's kind of spilling out the sides. Alright. So, I'm just gonna scrape some of this off here. Yeah, I do scrape a lot of it off. Well, I mean, I was trying to cover up the embed, okay? So, this is the first time I've done like a cane embed like that. I've done a lot of firsts in this soap. See if you can see it's literally on the top. So, you gotta be careful when you're doing that. Jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. I think I scraped some more off even, yep. And it's okay. Sometimes you just put too much in. Okay. Oops. And I keep bumping the embed. That's the not so great part. Okay. So next to the top of the soap, we're going to add some glitter. I wish I could remember which glitter I use. It was real pretty. I want to say it was a galaxy glitter by Crafter's Choice. I'm almost positive that's what it was because of the coloring. And it's like purples and blues and it's gorge and I love it. So just to kind of give it that twinkly sparkle of stars on the top.
I'm sorry, it's going.
What?
You said it was gorge?
Gorge. Yes. Like adorbs. Like these little stars I'm gonna put on. So these are little soap dough stars. And they are also in the blue glow in the dark mica. And I'm just putting them off to the one side that the moon is not on. I don't know why. That just was my choice for something different. Again, popsicle stick, multifunctional, moving your embeds around. Bloop. Oh my gosh, doesn't it look so pretty? If somebody would stop shaking the camera. There we go. Look how... Uh-oh. There we go. I had somebody trying to be extra special. Doesn't work like that. Everybody lays flat on my soap. Okay, and that's our scenery soap. I hope you guys try your own. I'd love to see some pictures. You can come hang out over on Instagram with us and show me what you got. I would love to see them. I hope y'all have a great day and we'll see you on the next video.